Hey guys, it has been a while since we've done a Vuarnet video, but I guess they earned this one, whether I like it or not. It's time. This is the 2106. This is the replacement to the 1613. Long overdue, but is it better all around, or is it just a rehash of something that's already been around? So for starters, we've already talked about the updated Vuarnet Glacier, the new 21, 10, 11, and 12 series that replaced the old 13, 15, and 1708. That was a huge improvement. The overall balance of the frame was much better. The overall construction, still better. This guy, I'm on the fence. The cosmetics, it's modernized quite a bit. I love the new look. This horizontal bar where it attaches, it looks more integrated into the frame rather than stuck on like in this one. A little bit more retro appeal here. If you're into that, there's that. I like a little bit cleaner, more modern look myself. This one does that very, very nicely. Overall, there aren't a ton of changes. It's pretty minor. They've moved to a little bit thicker, a little more horizontal presence on the new one, and that's going to be on both the side and on the front. You'll see that bar is a little bit thicker in both positions, the top and the middle. The overall weight is pretty close. I want to say the new one is just ever so slightly lighter, but I think it's just the balance of the frame tends to be a little bit better. I will say though, the feel of the nose, the 1613 is better. This one, they had a proprietary nose pad that spreads that pressure out just a little bit more. It's a little bit larger area. Now, the benefit with this one is they're standard nose pads. It's nothing special. You don't have to have a Vuarnet retailer or someone that has these oddball pads on hand to be able to switch them out. If one does fail and need replaced, you can go pretty much anywhere and get the pads on this one replaced. On the old one, you might have been up a creek with a sore nose for the weekend. Literally, if you were out on the creek. No tubing puns here. So the 1613 overall, we still do have that edge protection on the side, which was kind of a signature of the District Edge series that was the 1613. The double bar, as I mentioned, I really like how they've made this go from looking like a stuck-on afterthought, which I get, it has its appeal among the retro fans, but the modern, cleaner, integrated look, much better to me. A little bit more minimalist, minimalist versus this. Retro always has its place. It's super cool, but it's time to stop looking at the past and start looking forward, and I feel like that's what Vuarnet is doing with some of their new releases. Always a fan of doing that. But it's very subtle, very, very, very subtle changes. As we've seen with the 8478. Oh, we haven't seen that. I need to do that video. Good Lord, I need help. Now, as I mentioned, it's not quite as great of a feel on the face, even though it is a little bit lighter weight. And I'm just going to give that to the nose pads as I keep switching back and forth here, trying to wait on something to just go. No, that's it. It's this one. But it's not happening. Overall width and size is identical. I measured this out in millimeters earlier. We are still a 52A measurement, 47B measurement, which is that top to bottom, and the DBL is still right there at a 20 something. And my memory has blanked and it's not stamped into either of these frames, so I can't tell you what that something is, but the width is the same. The overall fit on the face is the same. It is just a nice, clean, updated look. Now, as you James Bond fans know from No Time to Die, James Bond Daniel Craig himself wore the 1613 in that film. It's the one in the fighter jet scene and featured a few other times as well. There is some debate over which one he wore. I'm going to stay out of that today. This is the one we move the most of in the 1613. So this is the popular choice. Now, whether that's the Bond thing or not is up to you to decide. It's the one. In case you think it's not, this guy is the one that you will see mentioned on the Bond sites. They all claim it was this one. I can tell you right off, there is a present reflection from the ski lynx lens in one of those scenes. See if you can spot it. I dare you. I hope you can prove me wrong. But the one everyone cites as what James Bond wore is what you've got here in the new 2106. They brought this colorway back because they knew they messed up and help. And this is the result. The main colorway released in the 2106. Matte black rims, just like we had on the 1613-0013. The gray polar lens, as we all know, I'm not a huge fan of that. You probably are. Good for you, good for them. Not getting into that today. Fortunately, they have a version of this with the ski lynx lens already. It's a beautiful navy blue rim and still these silver accents. Honestly, if you didn't know it wasn't this, you wouldn't know it wasn't this. And that's probably true for all of these, honestly. Unless you know exactly what you're looking at, right off, you're not going to know this is not the old 1613. But as you look at it, as you appreciate it, there are some nicer details that come to life. As I mentioned right off, this is a little bit thicker here. This is a little bit thicker, more integrated, different nose pads. The balance of the frame's a little bit better than what it was before while the overall weight remains the same. That's probably just the stock fit because I don't see anything else that would have changed the balance, except that these are thicker through the back, which would move more of the weight towards the back. So yeah, I guess that did help balance it a little bit more as well. Overall, style-wise, it's always been a really cool frame, tons of presence, very universal in fit and feel, completely unisex in style, obviously. It can very easily be worn by anybody. And it's a good shape. It's that classic kind of a P3 type feel to it. It's been around for a million years with a difference of about 10 millimeters between the depth and the width. It's great. There is no complaint here. It's great optically. It's great. It's just great. I mean, I'm never going to call a polarized lens the best thing in the world. I'll leave that to the ski lynx lens sitting over there. And if you don't know and have never tried a ski lynx lens, grab one of those. Try it. I still have a couple of these left, by the way. 2. Probably not by the time you're seeing this, because nobody knows what the 2106 is yet. And if you're looking for the 1613, I don't know if it's going to rank for that, because YouTube likes to make me cry at night in my sleep. But there you have it. That is the brand new Vuarnet 2106, this colorway 0002 with the gray polar lens versus the 1613 colorway 0013. Unfortunately, there is no colorway 007. If there were, it would be 0007 anyways. Now, that's all I've got on these. I'm going to go enjoy these guys, and I will catch you next time. Now, if you do want these, there will be a link down there. Do what you will with that. I'll see you next time. Let me know what you think. Is the 2106 the improvement we've been waiting for? Is it the perfect epitome of the swan song to the 1613? Or is it just another new model that's the same thing as it was before? You tell me.